The rain hammered against the floor-to-ceiling windows of the upscale restaurant in San Francisco's financial district, creating rivers of light from the city below. Dr. Rebecca Chen swirled her wineglass absently, only half listening to her former residency colleagues reminisce about their grueling years at UCSF Medical Center. Remember when Rebecca performed that emergency thoracotomy in the parking lot? Dr. James Martinez laughed, slapping the table. The patient's family still sends her Christmas cards. Rebecca offered a tight smile. She remembered. She remembered everything about those years. The adrenaline, the precision, the singular focus that had defined her entire adult life. Now, at 35, she was one of the youngest attending cardiovascular surgeons at San Francisco General, with a spotless record and a reputation for being brilliant, demanding, and completely unreachable on a personal level. "You know what your problem is, Chen?" Dr. Sarah Kim leaned forward, her eyes sparkling with mischief and 3 glasses of wine. "You've forgotten how to be human. When was the last time you did something spontaneous? Something that didn't involve a scalpel in someone's chest cavity?" Rebecca bristled. "I do plenty of things. Name one," James challenged. I went to a yoga class last month." The table erupted in laughter. "You left after 15 minutes because you got paged," Sarah countered. "That doesn't count." "Fine." Rebecca set down her glass with more force than intended. "What exactly are you suggesting?" Sarah's eyes lit up dangerously. "A bet. You take 3 months off." "Impossible." "Let me finish. 3 months. You participate in that home exchange program my sister runs. Random placement. Whatever house you get assigned to, you live there for the full term. No backing out. No running back to the hospital every 5 minutes." "That's insane," Rebecca said flatly. "Scared?" James grinned. Rebecca Chen didn't get scared. She'd held beating hearts in her hands, made split-second decisions that meant life or death, worked 72-hour shifts without flinching. A simple bet didn't frighten her. "Fine. What do I get when I win?" "When you complete the 3 months," Sarah corrected, "we all donate $10,000 each to the hospital's cardiac wing in your name. But if you quit early, you have to actually take a real vacation every year for the next 5 years. Non-negotiable." Rebecca calculated quickly. $30,000 for the program. And she never quit anything. Deal. They shook on it, and Rebecca felt a small thrill of satisfaction. This would be easy. 3 months in some quiet location, probably a beach house or mountain cabin. She could read all those medical journals she'd been meaning to catch up on. Maybe even work on that research paper remotely. She had no idea her life was about to be turned completely upside down. If you're already hooked on Rebecca's journey, make sure to subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss what happens when this control-obsessed surgeon meets the chaos she never saw coming. 2 weeks later, Rebecca stood in the rain outside a modest, craftsman-style house in Portland's Alberta Arts District, her designer luggage looking absurdly out of place on the cracked sidewalk. The neighborhood was a riot of color. Murals covered building walls, vintage shops sat next to organic cafes, and even in the November drizzle, people walked by with painted umbrellas and easy smiles. This was not the quiet retreat she'd imagined. The front door flew open before she could knock, and a small tornado in the form of a 6-year-old girl with wild curls and paint-stained overalls came barreling out. "Are you the doctor lady? Mama said you're gonna live with us. Do you know how to fix broken bones?" "My friend Tyler broke his arm and it was so cool. They put a cast on it and everyone signed it. Can I listen to my heart? Do you have one of those Steth things?" Rebecca stood frozen, completely unprepared for this level of enthusiasm. Behind the whirlwind child appeared a woman who made Rebecca forget how to breathe for a moment. Maya Rodriguez was beautiful in an entirely unconventional way. She wore paint-splattered jeans and a faded band t-shirt, her dark hair pulled back in a messy bun with what appeared to be a paintbrush stuck through it. Her brown eyes were warm but cautious, and there was a smudge of cobalt blue on her left cheek. "Lily, let the woman breathe," Maya said, her voice carrying a gentle authority. She extended a hand to Rebecca. "Maya Rodriguez, welcome to our chaotic corner of Portland. I hope Sarah warned you. We're not exactly conventional." Rebecca shook her hand, noting the strength in Maya's grip and the paint embedded under her fingernails. "Dr. Rebecca Chen. And no, Sarah thought it would be funny to keep it a surprise. Sounds like Sarah, Maya smiled, and Rebecca felt something shift uncomfortably in her chest. Come in, Lily. Help Dr. Chen with her bags. It's just Rebecca, she heard herself say. The interior of the house was exactly what Rebecca had feared. Every surface seemed to be covered with art projects in various stages of completion. A massive canvas dominated one wall of the living room, exploding with colors Rebecca couldn't name. Children's drawings were taped to the refrigerator, the hallway, even the ceiling in the kitchen. Books overflowed from shelves, and there appeared to be glitter embedded in the hardwood floors. Rebecca's eye twitched. I know it's a bit much, Maya said, misinterpreting Rebecca's expression. I teach art at Jefferson High School, and I do commission pieces on the side. Lily's following in my footsteps. Can't keep her away from the supplies. It's colorful, Rebecca managed. Mama, can Rebecca come see my room? I made it special for her. Lily grabbed Rebecca's hand with sticky fingers, and Rebecca had to suppress a shudder. Lily, Dr. Chen. Rebecca probably wants to settle in first. Let me show you to your room. The guest room was the only calm space in the house. It was painted a soft gray, with a comfortable-looking bed, a desk by the window, and minimal decoration. Rebecca felt her shoulders relax slightly. I cleared this space out for you, Maya explained. Figured you might need somewhere quiet to escape to. Lily can be intense. Thank you, Rebecca said, meaning it. I appreciate the consideration. Maya lingered in the doorway. Can I ask you something? Why did you really agree to this? Sarah mentioned you're some kind of superstar surgeon. This seems like a strange choice for someone like you. Rebecca bristled. Someone like me? I just mean, you seem very professional, put together. This, Maya gestured around, seems like the opposite of your world. I lost a bet, Rebecca said flatly. I don't lose, so here I am. Something flickered across Maya's face. Disappointment, maybe? But she just nodded. Well, we're glad to have you. Dinner's at 6:30. Nothing fancy, but you're welcome to join us. After Maya left, Rebecca unpacked with mechanical precision, trying to ignore the sound of laughter drifting from downstairs, the smell of something savory cooking, the sense that she'd just stepped into a completely foreign universe. Her phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. How's paradise? Rebecca typed back, I'm going to kill you. That's the spirit. Don't forget. 3 months, no backing out. Rebecca looked around the quiet room, then at the chaos visible through her door. 3 months. 90 days. She'd survived worse. At least that's what she told herself. The first week was a disaster. Rebecca discovered that Maya and Lily operated on what could only generously be called a flexible schedule. Breakfast happened anywhere between 7 and 9 o'clock. Lily had a different shoe crisis every morning. The kitchen was used for both cooking and art projects, sometimes simultaneously. And the noise level, the constant music, laughter, and creative chaos, made Rebecca's teeth ache. On Tuesday morning, Rebecca came downstairs at precisely 6:30 a.m. in her running clothes, only to find Maya already in the kitchen, clay-covered, and working on a sculpture that looked like it might be a horse or possibly a dragon. Morning, Maya said without looking up. Coffee's fresh. I've been up since 5. Rebecca poured herself a cup, noting that even the coffee mugs were handmade and slightly lopsided. You always work this early? When inspiration hits, yeah. Plus, it's the only quiet time before the Lily tornado wakes up. Maya finally looked at Rebecca, and there was something knowing in her expression. I'm guessing our morning routine is driving you crazy. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. You reorganized the entire spice cabinet yesterday, alphabetically. Rebecca felt her cheeks warm. It was inefficient. It was fine. We could find things. Maya set down her tools and wiped her hands on a rag. Look, I get it. We're not what you expected, but this is how we live. I can't make Lily move faster in the mornings, and I can't turn off my creativity on a schedule. If this is going to work, you might need to bend a little. I don't bend well, Rebecca said stiffly. No kidding, Maya replied, but there was a hint of a smile. Try anyway? Before Rebecca could respond, Lily thundered down the stairs in mismatched socks and a tutu over her jeans. Rebecca, you're still here. Mama said maybe you'd leave because we're too messy, but I said you wouldn't because you're tough like a superhero. Rebecca met Maya's eyes over Lily's head. Maya had the grace to look embarrassed. I'm not going anywhere, Rebecca heard herself say. I made a commitment. Yay! Lily threw her arms around Rebecca's waist, and Rebecca stood rigid, unsure what to do with her hands. Over the years, she'd lost the instinct for casual physical affection. Finally, awkwardly, she patted Lily's head. Okay, Munchkin, let Rebecca breathe. Go brush your teeth, with actual toothpaste this time, not paint. That was one time, Lily protested, but she ran off. Sorry about that, Maya said. She's affectionate. It's fine, Rebecca lied. But it wasn't fine, not really, because every time Lily looked at her with those huge, trusting eyes, or when Maya smiled that warm smile that seemed to light up the whole room, Rebecca felt something crack in the carefully constructed walls around her heart, and that terrified her more than any surgery ever had. By the end of week 2, a routine had emerged, though it looked nothing like any routine Rebecca had ever followed. She'd learned to sleep through the sound of Maya working in the early morning hours. She'd stopped reorganizing things, mostly. She'd even started helping Lily with her homework, discovering that explaining the circulatory system to a 6-year-old was oddly satisfying, but she and Maya still clashed constantly. You can't just schedule creativity, Maya argued on a rainy Thursday evening. They were in the kitchen, Maya cooking dinner while Rebecca tried to work on her laptop at the table, which was currently also hosting a papier-mâché project. I'm not scheduling creativity. I'm suggesting that maybe not every horizontal surface needs to be an active art studio, Rebecca countered. This is my house, my workspace. It's also supposed to be a shared living space for the next 3 months. Then maybe you should try sharing instead of controlling. The words hung in the air between them. Lily looked up from her homework, eyes wide. I'm not, Rebecca started, but Maya cut her off. Yes, you are. You've been here 2 weeks, and you've tried to restructure everything. The spices, the bookshelf, the way we load the dishwasher. I get that you're used to running an operating room, but this isn't your domain, Dr. Chen. Rebecca stood abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor. Fine. I'll stay in my room. That way I won't contaminate your perfectly chaotic life with my need for basic organization. She stormed upstairs, hating the sting behind her eyes, hating that she'd let this woman get under her skin. An hour later, a soft knock came at her door. Rebecca? Lily's small voice. Can I come in? Rebecca opened the door to find Lily holding a plate with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich cut into a heart shape. Mama said you didn't eat dinner. I made this for you. It's not as good as Mama's cooking, but I made it with love, which Mama says is the most important ingredient. Rebecca's throat tightened. She crouched down to Lily's level. Thank you, sweetheart. That was very thoughtful. Are you mad at us? No, I'm not mad at you at all. But you're mad at Mama? Rebecca sighed. Your Mama and I just see things differently, that's all. Lily considered this seriously. My friend Zoe and I see things differently too. She likes pink, and I like purple. But we're still best friends. Maybe you and Mama just need to learn each other better. From the mouths of babes, Rebecca thought. You might be right. I usually am, Lily said with complete confidence. Mama's downstairs crying. She doesn't know I know, but I heard her. I think she's sad about fighting with you. Rebecca felt something twist in her chest. I'll talk to her, okay? Okay. Eat your sandwich. Love ingredients only work if you actually eat them. After Lily left, Rebecca sat with the sandwich, looking at the careful heart shape, the uneven bread, the love that had gone into it. When had anyone last made her something with love? She couldn't remember. Are you feeling the connection building between Rebecca and Maya? Hit that subscribe button to follow their journey. Trust me, what happens next will surprise you. Rebecca found Maya on the back porch, wrapped in a blanket, staring out at the rain. The Portland evening was characteristically gray, and the droplets created a soothing rhythm on the roof. Can I join you? Rebecca asked. Maya startled, then nodded, not meeting her eyes. Rebecca sat down, leaving a careful distance between them. For a long moment, neither spoke. "I'm sorry," Rebecca finally said. "You were right. I have been trying to control everything. It's what I do. In my world, control means safety. It means patients survive, but this isn't the operating room, and you're not my surgical team." Maya pulled the blanket tighter. "I'm sorry too. I've been defensive. The truth is..." She paused, seeming to gather courage. "I'm barely holding it together most days. I work 2 jobs, raise Lily alone, try to keep up with the bills and the house and everything else. When you started organizing things, it felt like criticism, like confirmation that I'm failing. You're not failing," Rebecca said firmly. "Lily is happy, healthy, creative, and clearly loves you completely. That's not failure. That's success." Maya's eyes were shining when she finally looked at Rebecca. "Thank you for saying that. I mean it." Rebecca hesitated, then continued. "Can I tell you something? I've never had what you have. I grew up in a house where everything was perfect and controlled and absolutely cold. My parents are both academics, brilliant, accomplished, and completely emotionally unavailable. I learned early that performance mattered, feelings didn't. I became a surgeon because it made sense. Logical. Measurable success. But," Maya prompted gently, "but I'm 35 years old and I don't know how to make a sandwich with love. I don't know how to create something just for joy. I don't know how to..." Rebecca's voice cracked slightly. "How to be warm." Maya reached out and took Rebecca's hand. The touch was gentle, warm, and Rebecca didn't pull away. "You're warmer than you think," Maya said softly. "I've seen how you are with Lily. Patient, kind, even when she's driving you crazy. You're learning. She's easy to be kind to, so am I," Maya said with a slight smile, "when you're not reorganizing my spice cabinet." Rebecca laughed, a real laugh that surprised them both. "Deal. No more reorganizing. I'll try to embrace the chaos. And I'll try to contain the chaos to 70% of the house instead of 90, Maya offered. They sat together as the rain continued, hands still linked, and Rebecca felt something she hadn't felt in years: peace. The shift was subtle at first. Rebecca started joining Maya and Lily for their weekend pancake tradition, learning to make the Mickey Mouse-shaped ones that Lily loved. She stopped timing her runs to the minute, and instead let them flow naturally through Portland's colorful neighborhoods. She even, though she'd never admit it to Sarah, started enjoying the creative chaos of the Rodriguez household. Maya, for her part, made small concessions too. She designated the dining table as a work-free zone during meals. She put up a small calendar to help coordinate schedules. She started asking Rebecca about her day, about the medical journals she was reading, about the research she'd been neglecting. November slid into December, and Portland transformed into a winter wonderland of lights and rain-slicked streets. "We have a tradition," Lily announced one Saturday morning, bouncing on Rebecca's bed at an ungodly hour. "The first Saturday of December, we go to the Christmas tree farm and pick out our tree." "You have to come," Rebecca groaned, pulling the pillow over her head. "What time is it?" 7:30. The early bird gets the best trees, Mama says. "Come on." An hour later, Rebecca found herself in Maya's ancient Subaru, heading out to a tree farm in the Columbia River Gorge. Lily chattered constantly from the back seat, while Maya drove with easy confidence, one hand on the wheel, occasionally singing along to the indie folk music playing softly. Rebecca caught herself staring at Maya's profile, the curve of her jaw, the way she smiled at something Lily said, the paint still embedded under her fingernails even though she'd scrubbed them. When had this woman become so beautiful to her? "You're quiet," Maya observed, glancing over. "You okay?" "Fine. Just thinking." "About?" "How different this is from my usual December." "What do you usually do?" "Work. The holidays are busy in the ER. I usually volunteer to take extra shifts so people with families can be home." Maya's expression softened. "That's kind of you, but lonely." Rebecca shrugged, uncomfortable with the observation. "It's what I know." "Well," Lily piped up from the back, Now you know us, and we're way more fun than a hospital. The tree farm was magical in a way Rebecca hadn't expected. Rows of evergreens stretched out under a pale winter sky, the air crisp and smelling of pine. Families wandered between the rows, children shouting with excitement, couples holding hands. "Okay, rules," Maya announced. "We each pick our top choice, then we vote." "Can Rebecca be the tiebreaker?" Lily asked. "That's fair," Maya agreed, and Rebecca felt absurdly pleased to be included in their tradition. They wandered through the rows, Lily running ahead and shouting back whenever she found a perfect tree. Maya walked beside Rebecca, close enough that their hands occasionally brushed. "Thank you for coming," Maya said quietly. "This means a lot to Lily. She really looks up to you. I like spending time with her. She's remarkable. You've done an amazing job raising her." "It hasn't been easy," Maya admitted. "Her father left when I was 4 months pregnant. Said he wasn't ready for the responsibility. I was 26, teaching part-time, and terrified. My family helped, but they're back in Arizona. It's been mostly just us against the world." Rebecca felt a surge of anger toward a man she'd never met. His loss. Maya smiled. "Yeah, it really is. Lily's the best thing that ever happened to me. She taught me what unconditional love actually means." Before Rebecca could respond, Lily came running back. "I found it. The perfect tree. Come see?" The tree in question was enormous and slightly crooked. "Lily, honey, that's going to be too big for our living room," Maya said gently. "But it's perfect. Look, it has a bird's nest in it. A whole family lived here." Maya and Rebecca exchanged glances, and Rebecca saw the internal struggle on Maya's face, the desire to give Lily everything fighting with practical limitations. "What if," Rebecca suggested, "we get this tree for the front yard? We can decorate it with lights so everyone in the neighborhood can enjoy it. And then find a smaller one for inside?" Lily's face lit up. "That's a great idea. A tree for sharing," Maya mouthed, "Thank you," over Lily's head, and Rebecca felt warmth spread through her chest. They ended up with 2 trees, the massive crooked one for the yard, and a more reasonable 7-footer for the living room. As they waited in line to pay, Lily nestled between them. Rebecca felt something shift inside her. This feeling of belonging, of being part of something, was what she'd been missing her entire life. That evening, the house smelled of fresh pine and hot chocolate. Maya had put on Christmas music, the old classics, and they'd spent hours decorating. Lily insisted that every ornament had a story, which she narrated in elaborate detail. "And this one," Lily held up a slightly deformed clay star, "I made when I was 4. It's supposed to be perfect, but the point broke off, and Mama said it was even better because it was unique." "I love that philosophy," Rebecca said, and meant it. As the evening wore on, Lily finally crashed on the couch, falling asleep mid-sentence about a glass ball ornament. Maya gently carried her to bed, and Rebecca found herself tidying up the living room, gathering discarded wrapping paper and empty cocoa mugs. Maya returned and stopped in the doorway, watching her. "You don't have to clean up." "I want to," Rebecca said. It was really nice. Thank you for including me." Maya came closer, taking some of the paper from Rebecca's hands. "You know, when Sarah first told me a surgeon was coming to stay for 3 months, I was terrified. I thought you'd be judging us the whole time. Judging my messy house, my single-parent chaos, my inability to keep my life as neat as my art. And now I can't imagine these past few weeks without you." Maya's voice was soft, vulnerable. "You've become part of our routine. Lily talks about you constantly. She wants to be a doctor now. Did you know that? Because of you." Rebecca felt her throat tighten. "I've never been anyone's role model before." "You're a lot of things you don't give yourself credit for," Maya said. They were standing close now, close enough that Rebecca could see the flecks of gold in Maya's brown eyes, could smell the faint scent of paint and vanilla that always seemed to cling to her. "Maya," Rebecca started, not sure what she was going to say, just knowing she needed to say something. But Maya stepped back, breaking the moment. "I should check on Lily, make sure she's actually under the covers and not building a fort." "Right, of course." After Maya left, Rebecca stood alone in the living room, surrounded by the warm glow of Christmas lights, feeling more confused than she'd ever been in her carefully ordered life. Because somewhere between the scattered art supplies and the impromptu pancake breakfasts, and the way Lily's hand felt in hers, she'd started to fall for Maya Rodriguez, and she had absolutely no idea what to do about it. December brought shorter days and longer nights, and with them, a deepening of the connection between Rebecca and Maya. They'd fallen into an easy rhythm. Mornings with coffee and conversation before Lily woke up, evenings grading papers and reading medical journals side by side on the couch, stolen glances that lasted a moment too long. Rebecca had stopped counting the days until she could leave. Instead, she found herself dreading the calendar page turning to February. It was a Tuesday evening, 2 weeks before Christmas, when everything shifted again. Maya was in her studio space, a converted garage out back, working on a commission piece. Rebecca had been reading on the couch when she heard the crash, followed by a muffled sob. She was in the studio in seconds. Maya sat on the floor surrounded by shattered clay, her hands covering her face. The sculpture she'd been working on for weeks, a mother and child piece that was supposed to be her big entry into a prestigious Portland gallery showing, lay in pieces. Hey, what happened? Rebecca knelt beside her, careful of the shards. I was moving it to the kiln and I slipped. It's ruined. Weeks of work. Gone. Maya's voice was raw. And I need this showing, Rebecca. The gallery could mean real money. Money for Lily's future, for college someday, for fixing the roof that's been leaking, for... She broke off, fresh tears falling. Rebecca had seen trauma, had held it together through countless emergencies, but seeing Maya fall apart cracked something open in her chest. Gently, she pulled Maya into her arms. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Maya laughed bitterly against Rebecca's shoulder. This isn't your problem to fix, Dr. Chen. This is my mess. Literally. Stop. Rebecca pulled back just enough to meet Maya's eyes. First, you've been calling me Rebecca for 6 weeks. Don't go back to Dr. Chen now. Second, yes, you're not alone in this. The showing is in 3 weeks. I can't make another sculpture in time. I can't. Maya's breath was coming faster, panic setting in. Rebecca recognized the signs of a panic attack. She took Maya's hands, forcing her to focus. Breathe with me. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. Come on. They breathed together until Maya's breathing steadied. Rebecca kept holding her hands, their faces close in the dim light of the studio. Okay, Rebecca said. Let's think about this logically. What were the requirements for the submission? Original work, any medium. Theme is transformation. Maya wiped her eyes. I chose sculpture because that's what I know best, but you work in multiple mediums. Your paintings are incredible. I haven't painted seriously in years. Not since before Lily was born. Why not? Maya looked away. Because it was the last thing I did with my ex. We were going to be artists together, travel the world, create beautiful things. Then I got pregnant and he left and painting just hurt too much. It reminded me of everything I'd lost. Rebecca understood loss, understood building walls to keep pain out. What if, she said carefully, this is your transformation, not the subject of the art, but you. Reclaiming something that was taken from you? Maya's eyes widened. I don't know if I can. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met. You raise an amazing daughter alone, work 2 jobs, create beauty even when the world is hard. You can do this. Will you help me? Maya asked quietly. I don't think I can face the blank canvas alone. Of course. The journey these 2 women are on is just getting started. If you're invested in seeing where their story goes, subscribe now, because what comes next will touch your heart. They started that night. Maya set up a large canvas in the living room, while Rebecca made tea and put on soft music. Lily was asleep upstairs, the house quiet except for the rain against the windows. I don't even know where to start, Maya said, staring at the blank white surface. Tell me about transformation, Rebecca suggested. What does it mean to you? Maya was quiet for a long time. Then she began to speak, and as she did, her hands started moving, mixing colors. Transformation is becoming a mother when you thought you'd be an artist. It's learning that you can be both. It's the moment you realize that loss didn't destroy you. It rebuilt you into something stronger. She paused, looking at Rebecca with an intensity that made Rebecca's heart race. It's letting someone into your perfectly chaotic life and discovering they fit exactly into the spaces you didn't know were empty. The air between them felt charged. Rebecca couldn't look away. "Paint that," she whispered. Maya turned to the canvas and began. Rebecca watched, mesmerized, as colors and shapes emerged. It wasn't literal or concrete. It was emotion made visible. Blues flowing into golds, sharp lines softening into curves, darkness giving way to light. Hours passed. Rebecca made more tea, brought Maya water, occasionally offered quiet words of encouragement. As dawn began to lighten the sky, Maya finally stepped back. "It's not finished," she said. "But it started. It's beautiful," Rebecca said honestly. The painting was raw and vulnerable and stunning. Maya turned to her, paint in her hair, exhaustion and exhilaration on her face. "I couldn't have done this without you." "Yes, you could have. You just needed someone to remind you who you are." "And who am I?" Rebecca stepped closer. "You're Maya Rodriguez. You're an artist and a mother and the most resilient person I've ever met. You're sunshine in human form, even on the rainiest days. She broke off, suddenly aware of how close they were, how easy it would be to close the distance. "I'm what?" Maya breathed. "You're making me question everything I thought I knew about myself," Rebecca admitted. Maya reached up, gently touching Rebecca's face. "Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I've spent my whole life being certain, controlled, safe. And being around you feels like jumping off a cliff. What if I promise to catch you?" Rebecca's breath caught. "Maya, I know you have to go back to San Francisco in 6 weeks. I know your life is there and mine is here. I know this is complicated and probably a terrible idea. But Rebecca, these past 2 months, you're part of our family. You're part of my heart, and I need you to know that before you leave. Before I lose my courage." Rebecca felt tears threatening. "I've never been part of a family. I don't know how to do this. Neither did I before Lily. We learn together. We figure it out as we go. That's what love is." The word hung between them. Love. "I'm falling for you," Rebecca confessed. "I have been for weeks, and it terrifies me because I don't know how to make this work. My career is in San Francisco. Lily's school is here. Your work is here. How—" Maya pressed a finger to Rebecca's lips. "We don't have to solve everything tonight. Can we just be honest about what we feel? Deal with the logistics later?" Rebecca nodded, and Maya smiled. That beautiful, warm smile that had been breaking down Rebecca's walls since day one. "I'm falling for you too," Maya said. "Completely. Terrifyingly. Wonderfully." This time when they came together, it felt inevitable. Their lips met softly at first, tentative, questioning. Then deeper, with all the emotion they'd been holding back. Rebecca felt like she was drowning and being saved at the same time. When they finally pulled apart, both were crying. "I don't want to leave," Rebecca whispered. "Then don't. Not yet. We have 6 weeks. Let's make them count." As the sun rose over Portland, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, Rebecca and Maya sat together on the floor, hands intertwined, facing an uncertain future, but absolutely certain about each other. The weeks that followed were both the happiest and most complicated of Rebecca's life. She and Maya tried to keep things normal for Lily's sake, but the shift in their relationship was palpable. They were more careful with each other, more tender. Rebecca found herself doing things she'd never imagined, helping with art projects without cringing at the mess, dancing in the kitchen while making dinner, reading bedtime stories with funny voices that made Lily giggle until she couldn't breathe. Maya finished her painting, a stunning piece that captured transformation in a way that made viewers stop and stare. The gallery accepted it immediately, offering Maya a solo show in the spring. "I couldn't have done this without you," Maya said the night they got the news. They were alone. Lily was at a sleepover, curled up on the couch together. "You absolutely could have. I just reminded you of what was already there." "You're always so certain about everyone else," Maya observed. Why can't you have that certainty about yourself? About us? Rebecca was quiet. They'd been avoiding the big conversation. What happened when February came and the 3 months were up? Talk to me, Maya urged gently. I'm supposed to go back in 2 weeks, Rebecca finally said. Back to my job, my apartment, my life. Is that what you want? I don't know. Rebecca pulled away slightly, needing space to think. A year ago, even 3 months ago, I would have said absolutely yes. My career is everything. I've worked so hard to get where I am. But now I wake up, and the first thing I think about is whether you've already started working in the studio. I find myself looking forward to Lily's questions about the human body. I actually enjoy the chaos. You've changed everything. Maya took Rebecca's hands. Then stay. Not forever, not even permanently at first. But stay through the spring. Take a leave of absence. See how it feels to build a life here. My career will still be there. Rebecca, I'm not asking you to give up being a surgeon. I know that's part of who you are, but maybe you could be a surgeon in Portland? Maybe you could do locum work, or research, or... There are options, if you want them. What about Lily? This is happening so fast. She's 6 years old. How do we explain? Kids are more resilient than you think. And Rebecca, she loves you. She's asked me 3 times when you're going to officially be part of our family. Rebecca felt her eyes sting. She did? She did. Last week she made you a picture. It's of the 3 of us. She wrote "My Family" at the top. I have it in my studio if you want to see it. The tears fell then, and Maya held her while she cried. For the lonely child she'd been, for all the years of emotional isolation, for the fear of losing this beautiful thing they'd found. I'm scared, Rebecca admitted. What if I'm not good at this? What if I fail you both? What if you don't? What if this is exactly where you're supposed to be? The next morning, Rebecca called Sarah. Well, Sarah answered. The Ice Queen herself. How's voluntary exile treating you? I need advice, Rebecca said, ignoring the jab. Sarah's tone immediately changed. What's wrong? Are you okay? I'm in love with Maya, with her daughter, with this whole chaotic, messy, beautiful life. And I don't know what to do. There was a long pause. Then Sarah said, Becca, I've known you for 15 years. I've never heard you sound like this. Happy, uncertain. Human. Is that a good thing? It's the best thing. So what's the problem? Rebecca explained the situation. The impending deadline. Her career in San Francisco. The impossibility of it all. Here's the thing, Sarah said when she finished. You've spent your entire life being the best at everything. Best student, best resident, best surgeon. But have you ever asked yourself what you're actually working toward? What the end game is? Success. Achievement. And then what? You're already successful. You're already achieved. What comes after that? Rebecca didn't have an answer. Love comes after that, Sarah said softly. Connection. Family. The things that make all the achievement actually mean something. I didn't send you to Portland to punish you, Becca. I sent you there because I was watching my brilliant friend slowly disappear into her work. I was hoping you'd remember how to be a person again. So you knew about Maya? I knew she was a single mom who could use some help. I knew she was kind and creative, and exactly the kind of person who might break through those walls of yours. I didn't know you'd fall in love, but I'm really glad you did. After they hung up, Rebecca sat for a long time, thinking. Then she made 3 more calls. We're in the final stretch of Rebecca and Maya's story. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. You won't want to miss how this all comes together. 2 weeks later, on a crisp January morning, Rebecca sat with Lily at the kitchen table. Maya was at school, and Rebecca had asked for this time alone with the little girl who had stolen her heart. Lily, can we talk about something important? Lily looked up from her drawing, suddenly serious. Are you leaving? That's what I want to talk to you about. How would you feel if I stayed? Not just for a visit, but... Stayed. Lily's eyes went wide. Like, forever? Like, I would get a job here in Portland. I would still be a doctor, but I'd be here. With you and your mom. Would that be okay? Lily launched herself at Rebecca with such force they almost toppled the chair. Yes, 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 yes. Does this mean you're going to be my other mom? Rebecca laughed, holding the little girl tight. Would you like that? More than anything. I asked Mama if you could stay, and she said it was complicated, but I said love isn't complicated, it's simple. You love someone and they love you, and that's that. You're a very smart girl. I know, Lily said matter-of-factly. So when are you telling Mama? Tonight. I wanted to make sure you were okay with it first. I'm more than okay. I'm happy. Lily pulled back to look at Rebecca seriously. Are you happy? Rebecca thought about the question. Was she happy? For the first time in her life, truly, deeply happy? Yes, she said, and meant it completely. I'm so happy. That evening, Maya came home to find the house transformed. Rebecca had cooked dinner, nothing fancy, but made with care. Candles flickered on the table, soft music played. What's all this? Maya asked, but she was smiling. Sit. Please. When they were seated, Rebecca took a deep breath. I called the hospital in San Francisco. I'm taking a year's leave of absence. I've already reached out to Oregon Health and Science University. They have a cardiothoracic research program that's interested in my work. It's not surgery, not yet, but it's a start. And I've put my apartment on the market. Maya's hand flew to her mouth. Rebecca, I'm not finished. I know this is fast. I know it's crazy. I know we've only known each other for 3 months. But Maya, I've spent 35 years being logical and careful and controlled, and it got me exactly nowhere. These past 3 months with you and Lily have taught me more about living than the previous 35 years combined. You're really staying? I'm really staying. If you'll have me. I know I'm still learning how to be warm, how to embrace chaos, how to be part of a family. I'll probably still reorganize things sometimes and freak out about the glitter, but I love you. I love Lily, and I want to build a life here, with you. Both of you. Maya was crying now, and Rebecca reached across to wipe away her tears. I love you too, Maya said. So much. But are you sure? Your career will adapt. I'm brilliant, remember? Rebecca smiled. I can be a surgeon anywhere, but I can only be part of your family here. That's worth more than any career. Maya stood and pulled Rebecca to her feet, kissing her deeply. You're already part of our family. You have been since the day Lily decided you were her hero. I asked Lily this morning how she'd feel about me staying. She said love isn't complicated. She's right, we complicate it. But at its core, love is simple. Maya rested her forehead against Rebecca's. Stay. Build a life with us. Teach Lily about science and organization. Let me teach you about art and chaos. Let's figure out this beautiful mess together. Deal, Rebecca whispered. From upstairs came Lily's voice. Are you guys done being mushy? Because I want to celebrate. Can we have ice cream? They broke apart, laughing. She definitely heard everything, Maya said. Of course she did. She's your daughter. Our daughter, Maya corrected softly. And Rebecca felt her heart, that organ she'd studied and understood mechanically her entire life, finally learn what it was actually for. To love, to connect, to create family in unexpected places. 6 months later, Rebecca stood in front of her new colleagues at OHSU, presenting her research on minimally invasive cardiac procedures. In the audience sat Maya and Lily, who'd insisted on coming to see Rebecca in action. After the presentation, as colleagues congratulated her, Lily ran up and hugged her legs. You were amazing. I didn't understand any of it, but you sounded super smart. Rebecca laughed and picked her up. Thank you, sweetheart. That means a lot. Maya joined them, sliding an arm around Rebecca's waist. Very impressive, Dr. Chen. Though I prefer you in paint-splattered clothes in our kitchen. Our kitchen, Rebecca repeated, loving the sound of it. They'd just moved into a bigger house together. One with room for Maya's studio, Lily's creativity, and Rebecca's need for at least one organized space. Our kitchen, our house, our life, Maya confirmed, as they walked out into the Portland sunshine. Yes, actual sunshine, a rare treat. Rebecca thought about the bet that had brought her here. She'd thought she was losing when she agreed to it. She'd thought 3 months in a stranger's home would be torture. Instead, she'd found everything she didn't know she was looking for. Sarah had been right. Sometimes losing is the best thing that can happen to you. Especially when what you lose is the walls around your heart, and what you gain is a family, a love, and a home. Rebecca Chen had spent her life saving hearts, but it turned out the heart that most needed saving was her own. And Maya Rodriguez, with her paint-stained hands and beautiful chaos, had done exactly that. Thank you for following Rebecca, Maya, and Lily's journey. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to our channel and share it with someone who believes in second chances and unexpected love. Sometimes the best things in life are the ones we never planned for. Until next time, remember, home isn't always where you start. Sometimes it's where you finally allow yourself to belong.